college football fans. It's time. One man breaks it all down. Stats, story, and straight talk. This is Nolan Knows with Paul.
Oh, welcome back to Nolan Knows Podcast. And what a great week 0 to start off. Only, 5 games? Both 2-0. Coming into week 1 hot. And it's just exciting to have college football back. I mean, just even NFL coming up, but just no better feeling coming up. You know, you're going through summer. It's a great time of year, and you're upset summer's over, but then, you just get football back, and it's just, one of the greatest feelings ever. How you feeling about that, Paul?
Loving it. Can't wait. Week 0 was an appetizer, as we talked about 100 different times, but we kick off a hell of a week 1. One of the best week 1s I can remember in my entire life, honestly. 3 top 10 matchups sprinkled throughout the weekend. I'm stoked.
Yeah, you got that right. I mean, you get some premier matchups, but then any flaky, a lot of FCS, FBS going on, nonsense going on, but I get that. You have the cookie matchup to start things off, get yourself a dub to start off the season, which makes sense.
Yeah. No, a lot of teams do that, obviously, but still, there's plenty of good matchups. And we're going to get into some of the Friday night games that are pretty good as well. I don't think we could ask for much more out of a week 1 matchup, honestly.
Get Rutgers on Thursday? What's better than that?
Rutgers on Thursday. Who do they got? Howard? No, Ohio.
I think Howard was last year.
Might as well be Howard.
True that.
What is actually the line?
Minus 15.
I never see it because it's not posted on DraftKings.
If there's one thing I don't do, I do not take Rutgers with a big line. I do not trust them with that.
We can't take them in Jersey anyway.
True that. For any of our guests that are outside New Jersey.
Any of our out-of-staters that are interested in doing a little Rutgers, yeah.
But like I said, both of us 2-0. I hit on Hawaii. We both hit Hawaii on islands. I mean, that was just a no-brainer, even though it was disgusting.
System play right there. Just absolutely system play. A lot of heart and grit from that quarterback.
Played with one leg.
Yeah, he was hobbling around out there, but we also had no business covering that, but I think they went like 18 straight runs or something, and then they were running the shit out of it again, decided to throw one pass and got picked. And then that set up
that was like the dumbest move ever. I can't believe they even called that play.
Yeah, and then that set up that Japanese kicker who learned how to kick on YouTube. Dude, his nails.
Yeah, saw that.
Yeah, he moved to like Ohio or something like that to just like ingratiate himself with like American culture and didn't want to go somewhere where there was any like Japanese people basically that would speak the language. He wanted to just be a total loner and like learn, and then he went to Hawaii and yeah, dude like just committed to being an American kicker. Pretty crazy.
Hey, he's got a family now. I'm sure Hawaii loved him for that.
Absolutely, yeah. I loved him for it.
Yeah, true that. So I was at a bar too. Of course, this fucking bar doesn't have any fucking TVs in it. So I'm on my phone in the middle of this place just watching this with my one friend from school because we both bet it.
What bar did you go to without TVs?
Disgusting. I mean, I actually do like the bar. The hell is it? Watermark in Asbury.
Jesus, for college football? Come on.
Hey, I got to see the 7 o'clocks and the 12 o'clock. But we'll just do the recap now anyway, now that we're into it. You won the Iowa State one. They ended up winning outright.
Yep.
That was a good game, though. I mean, Avery Johnson looked good, but it was a great, tough game to start out the season for sure.
I would say it was very sloppy, and Avery Johnson's stat line looks good, but he actually played like crap in the beginning, and he had 2 long touchdown throws. I don't know. I think his stat line was deceiving. Better days ahead for him, but
I don't think the weather was too favorable for Kansas State either. It was
terrible, yeah. They got to get rid of this Ireland shit. It's nonsense.
Play in a dome, for Christ's sake.
It's just the lines on the field were disappearing.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
They used to rugby out there.
It was ridiculous. Just stop doing that. They're 15 years too early.
So I ended up winning the Western Kentucky over. That hit in the fourth quarter, thank God. What's the saddest part of all is we put the parlay out there, and for some dumbass reason I put Kansas State money line. And if we put Iowa State money line, that probably would have been like a plus 600 hit if we did that.
Yeah, because they were plus as well.
Yeah.
Like Iowa State on a loner bet.
Sad. Bad on my part. That's on me.
That's on you for sure. But it's all good. 2-0 for both of us. And let's keep it hot.
Yeah. Any other games you want to touch on? I didn't really care for any others, to be honest with you.
Nah, just really UNLV quickly. They looked horrible. Dan Mullen is the coach there now. He came off
former
of ESPN.
Florida guy?
Yeah, off of ESPN. He's coaching there now, and they did not look very good. They were in an absolute dogfight with Idaho State. So a lot of people picked them to be in contention for the Group of 5 playoff spot. They did not look good. I mean, it's an overreaction, but I did not like what I saw.
No, I agree. If you're coming toe-to-toe with Idaho State, who I think did have a good season last year, but I think they ended up losing a lot from what I read. But if you're coming toe-to-toe with them at home, too, it's not a good look. All right. Any noise out there from the boys? Any comments?
No real noise. Just the contest we got to iron out.
Yeah, so Cookies contest. We'll have them on the next couple of weeks for sure. But what are we going to do? 2 picks a week?
All right, so I think this is what we do. We said it's going to be 2 picks a week. I think it's got to be straight team or total over under. And it should be at most it can be a -120. No -125, no -130s, none of that nonsense. No moving the lines.
Playing lines, yeah.
Yeah, just whatever's posted. We need someone to... I think we do it silently where we text it to someone. They let us know that so-and-so is confirmed, like Paul's picks are in, Nolan's picks are in, Cookie's picks are in, and then we can just post them and all see, and we'll keep it on the chat. But I don't think we should share it until everyone's told whoever the person is. And then I think we said 500 each, so the winner would take 1,000, and then whoever wants to record keep can just get $100 from the winner.
Well, I'm gonna be posting these plays, dude.
I know you're gonna be posting them, but we need someone to take the plays first. If you get what I mean. Yeah. So you can't cherry pick off of somebody else's picks.
All right, true. We'll have Martino.
All right, we'll pitch it to him. See if he wants to do it for the $100.
Yeah. So John Diarco, #1 fan, left us a comment. We're back, baby. Inject B.O.B. AI into my veins. I guess he likes the new intro. BC ranked this year, calling it. Good luck out there. Nice. I don't know if I could get on that train, but we appreciate the support.
Yeah. And I think there was something from Beazle as well. And you should respond to him and let him know. Not now.
You know what? I thought I did respond, but where do you post your picks so your fans can hop on the bandwagon? At CMeds11. Might have to get a new Twitter handle because they don't let you change that for some dumb reason.
We have a presenting sponsor this week?
Yo Bros. Knockoff of Hey Dudes. Get your Yo Bros. Probably sold at Marshall's select pair in sizing, so if you get there, you see them. Hopefully they have your size.
Yo Bros.
Yo Bros. All right. You want to talk about Rutgers at all or OU?
Let's talk about the college football news before we get into them, I think.
Oh, yeah. True.
So first thing I just wanted to say is quickly, SEC is moving in 2026 to a 9-game schedule. I think this is long overdue. I don't know why the hell they were doing 8 to begin with. Everyone else does 9. Just do 9. It's going to be really cool. You're going to have 3 permanent teams that you play every single year. So those will be your rivalry or whatever, just you're consistent. And then every 4 years you'll play someone home and away because there's 6 other teams that will make it onto your schedule. And then it'll flip home and away, and then it'll be a new batch and then flip home and away. So every 4 years you'll see everybody in the conference. So and like I said, 3 of the teams you'll see every single year. So I like it a lot. I think it was long overdue. They should be on 9. I think it's the beginning of them trying to harmonize a little bit, and eventually these power conferences might break off and do their own thing and kind of disattach from the NCAA. But that's years down the line and a million different billable hours and legal folks getting involved.
Yeah, hopefully not. That'd just be a shit show.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, but I think that might be the future. But anyway, keeping it to the SEC, just Yeah, really hyped for 9 games, an extra one. Like they used to have that stupid. You'll see it this year, like the second to last week of the year, where Georgia plays Furman or some bullshit,
Yeah.
and it's just like it's crunch time in the season. You got all these non-conference cupcake games. I'm just glad they're doing away with that.
So definitely strengthen their schedule a little bit too in
Yeah.
that aspect. But I hope they don't do away with their core rivalries that are at a conference. Say like
They
Clemson, South Carolina, Georgia, Georgia Tech. I like those.
No, those
So
are there to stay. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I hope so. So how about news of this? Portnoy being banned from entering the Horseshoe, and also Barstool pregame show being banned from Ohio State. A little soft, no?
Absolutely soft. So I don't fully like. I saw the headline. I read into it a little bit, but I'm still kind of confused of what's going on. Like Barstool is banned from Ohio State just because they're Barstool first and foremost. Is that right?
I think so, and just because Portnoy always trolls them, and he's a big Michigan guy.
So yeah, I mean that's ridiculously soft. And also in this day and age in 2025, Barstool is practically mainstream media. Why would they be banned? I don't understand.
Number
Like,
one
why
sports podcast.
why are college campuses banning them? It's just like wake up. It's the new era. You don't need suits. You don't need like professional studio setups. I just get with the times. I feel like it's been proven.
Played right into his hand too. Sad.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Absolutely
it's not
what he wanted.
they because of the Barstool ban. He's technically not allowed to like be on the field with the desk or something. It's just
Yeah,
it's
exactly. He'll do
extremely
the
soft.
pregame show, but
It's
yeah.
so stupid. I don't know. And then the AD came out and said like he's not banned, but clearly something happened. So I have no idea what to make of it. I'm sure there's going to be more information that comes out, but the whole thing's pretty ridiculous. And Ohio State looks very soft.
There was definitely some backdoor conversations with Fox and Ohio State, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And the Big Ten, I'm sure, got involved. I'm sure it was just so stupid.
Well, dude, the Big Ten they don't even like football. They tried to cancel during COVID.
It's sad. SEC saved this country.
It's absolutely right. They did. The SEC was like, yeah, if we're not playing football, we don't really want to live anyway. So
Exactly.
let's get back to the games.
All right, special shout out, Lee Corso, doing his last show this week, too? Is this his last show?
This is his last show. He's doing the last headgear. Dude, he's 90. Did you know that?
I did not. I was going to guess 80, but Jesus Christ.
He's 90 years old. So he's been doing it forever. I sent you that video. There's an ESPN 7-minute video, like a little tribute to him. Everyone should watch it. It's actually like a little bit of a tear jerker for sure.
Yeah,
and
man, it's emotional as fuck.
dude, there's not many things in the world that have a higher approval rating, I think, than like College Game Day and Lee Corso in general, like just beloved. And dude, I remember waking up as like a pretty young kid, like 12 years old, looking forward to the headgear segment with him and him doing the not so fast and listen here, sweetheart. Dude's a legend. I got nothing but respect for him. Glad he did it. Wish him well.
For sure, guy was a pioneer, you know? I mean, doing the picks and then bringing some excitement to the crowd, and you start to see that evolve with Pat McAfee. So definitely a pioneer in the industry, and the way he brought up the pregame shows. I mean, even college basketball tried, doing their own style, but, just one of the originators, and hats off to him, man. Great career.
Yeah, he's the man. Shout out Lee Corso.
All right, so Rutgers -15 tomorrow night at home. I'm not even going to get into this game just because I don't really care, but they should win it. I don't know if they'll cover or not, but if they don't, that'll be sad.
Yeah, and then much of the same for Oklahoma, except they're definitely going to outright win, obviously. -35.5 against Illinois State. It's an FCS team ranked number 6 in the FCS, but still, it's a pushover, obviously. Really anxious to see what the team looks like. It's gonna be hard to draw any like real conclusions, but I just like to see some competent offense. Take a look at John Mateer, how he's throwing the ball around, the receivers, who's actually out there. And it should be fairly quick work for them. But I will say this teaser for next week: OU, obviously the biggest game of the schedule. Game day is going to be there. With Michigan coming to town. Right now the line
They're going
is
to ban Portnoy.
well, no, because they're Fox is with Big Ten, but they're doing like Iowa or some nonsense. Like they're not even. Yeah,
True.
it's ridiculous, but they can't get their shit together over there.
Yeah.
with this big noon kickoff and all. Like they're making steps in the right direction, but what are you doing? Like, come
Yeah.
on. But anyway, the line is -2.5 right now. I have already taken it, and I'm going to be putting some on an alternate line, Oklahoma minus like 6.5 or something like that, because I think they're gonna beat them by a touchdown or more. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope to be proven right, but I love the matchup for Oklahoma week 2. So
All
more to
right.
come next week on that. But yeah, let's get the ball rolling on a turnaround season for the Sooners.
Expecting a lot out of Venables' fourth year, right?
Yeah, the defense should be good. Hopefully, like top 10 in the country. The offense
I'm not
should
worried about
be.
their defense for
The
sure.
offense should be, dude. Everything it seems like Mateer is like Baker Mayfield reincarnated, like just moxie,
He's got
presence,
that
the
dog
whole
in him,
thing.
like it,
He's
like
got that
Baker.
dog. If
Oh,
things go
nice.
well,
Baker is my
he.
boy.
I mean, Baker's the man, obviously, but if
Yeah.
things go well, he can absolutely capture America and be that like rooted, polarizing figure.
Just tell him to take his bets off Venmo, all right?
Yeah, luckily that faded. Haven't heard anything since, so we good.
All right, moving on to the week 1 games and picks. So we'll start out Friday Night Lights, Auburn at Baylor. Auburn coming in as 2.5-point favorites, actually. Over-under set at 58.5, 8 p.m. start. So I'm a fan of Baylor. I know some people are, their defense isn't really the greatest, but offensively, returning 8 of 11 starters, including their starting quarterback Sawyer Robertson and leading rusher Brian Washington. Returned 4 out of 5 offensive linemen. Robertson threw for over 3,000 yards last season, went 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions last year. Bringing a few transfer linebackers on the defense help out. The biggest test I think for them on defense is just being able to handle Jackson Arnold. Arnold can run, can scramble, he can make things happen. And, we'll see. Now that Arnold does have probably better wide receivers than he did last year due to injuries, we'll see what he makes of it. Auburn does lose Jaquez Hunter. Huge out of the backfield for them. Lose some key players on defense, too. Do not bring in any transfers that will start. But, add to the depth a little bit. Questions at the kicking position as well. The guy did not have too many good stats. So keep an eye on the kickers. It's very important in college football, believe it or not. But honestly, my pick here, it's got to be Baylor. Lots of new parts on Auburn's offense, and it really just comes down to Jackson Arnold just needs to prove it to me. I've seen Baylor, I've seen Robertson throw, I've seen their offense move. Maybe you could even make a play on the over here. It's pretty high, but both defenses are their weak points for both teams. But I just think Baylor shouldn't be a dog here. I think the wrong team's favorite. I'm going to go Baylor in this one.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Baylor, and it has a lot to do with just Jackson Arnold and what I've read and heard. It sounds like he's just having problems processing information at a quick pace. He's got the weapons. Cam Coleman is a stud sophomore. Eric Singleton is a transfer wide receiver that's really good as well. The offensive line is solid. The roster is pretty good. Even on the defensive side, they've got, I think Keldrick Falk is like an absolute monster on the defensive line for Auburn. But I just think it comes down to Dave Aranda, the defensive game plan, confusing Jackson Arnold, baiting him into a couple different mistakes. And I don't know, at home, tough environment. I like Baylor to cover 2.5 points and start off the season with a W. And Auburn's one of those teams I might be fading much of the season because it does not sound good. They've got some weird thing going too where they have like 3 offensive coordinators or play callers where some of them will do like 1 down each, but then like the head coach can overrule them. It just sounds like an absolute mess.
Yeah, I don't like that. Hugh Freeze is a little out there too.
Yeah,
So,
and like the pressure is gonna just start to mount if Arnold starts slow because they do have Deuce Knight, who's a pretty good freshman quarterback, like highly rated, could be the future there. So I'm just not a big believer in Auburn this year, and I think Baylor can cover the 2.5. I'm with you.
playing in Waco too, so it's traveling away and Baylor being home dogs. It's just I just like the Bears here.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, next Friday night game, Georgia Tech traveling to Colorado. Georgia Tech coming in as 4.5-point favorites. This line's moving a little bit. It was at 3.5. was at 4.5, 5. Now it's back down to 4.5. Over under 51.5. Another 8 p.m. start. So for this one, Georgia Tech obviously brings back the Haynes brothers, Haynes King at quarterback, and then Jamal Haynes at running back. Great combo to have in the backfield. Haynes King can scramble, gains yards with his legs, and just they have Jamal in the backfield too. So expect a lot of running yards here. But Colorado's defense actually isn't that bad. I mean, obviously they lose Travis Hunter and I guess Shiloh. I was never really a big fan of him, but they bring in a couple guys. They end up bringing in quarterback Caden Salter from Liberty. Had a great year in 2023, but didn't have as good of a year last year. But the thing with Liberty is they really don't play anybody. They're in the Conference USA or Sun Belt, so you don't see much. You don't see much competition on there, and then they don't really play any Power 5 or Power 4 conference games or people out of conference. So it's a little tough to judge on how good he'll be going up against a Power 4 school. But I think both squads, I was going to play an over here, but I think at the end of the day, I don't know why this game is at 4. It almost feels like a trap line just since they lose Shador, they lose Travis Hunter, and Dion's coming off of cancer in his bladder. So I don't know how much of in the preseason, how much he was around. So he's been going through a lot. So just a lot of things going on their end. But Georgia Tech is also traveling away, so maybe it does feed into the line a little bit, but I just think Georgia Tech's a better team, and that's really what I have to go with my gut. But I would take Georgia Tech here minus the 4.5 points.
Yeah, so let me ask you a question, because actually applies for a lot of them. It applies for Auburn, Baylor, applies for Georgia Tech, Colorado, and it's going to apply for Texas, Ohio State. Road teams. Do you think that being a road team is better when it's the kickoff to a season, or it doesn't matter, it's the same?
Tough to say, actually. I don't really know, because you got the crowd amped up. It's the first home game of the year, and you're going into a tough environment, but it's a great team. It's a great time to catch a team off guard early on in the season. They don't really know what they are, especially with all these transfer portal guys coming in. There's a lot of chemistry that needs to be built, a lot of new faces around new teams. So you have to build that chemistry, and guys just need to play with each other. They need to trust each other, and they need to learn each other's styles. So there's a lot that goes into it. So if you're an away team early on, it's probably the right time to be where you can knock off playing away against the team, right?
So, that's kind of like, because I agree with you. I'm on Georgia Tech, and a little bit of it scares me is that they got to go to Colorado, and it's going to be a raucous environment. But at the same time, I do think, like, when you're in the middle of the season and you're sore and you just had a game and you're trying to recover, and then on Thursday or whatever, you got to travel to somewhere, I think that it's probably better to be away to kick off a season. Not better than being home, obviously, but like you'd rather kick off the season away than have that same game like week 7 on like a back-to-back away road trip or something like that, because there's just so much more going on and your body is just beat up. So when you're fresh now, I think is the way to do it. I don't understand the line at all. I feel like Colorado's lost so much. I don't think Shador Sanders being gone from the team can be understated. He kept them in a ton of games. He really was like a really solid talent. And Caden Salter's fine, I think, but like you said, he played at Liberty. And I just think Georgia Tech is well coached, very sound team, gonna tackle well, not really give up like yards after they catch or missed tackles or anything like that. So I'm going with Georgia Tech. I liked what I saw from them last year, and I think they're going to improve on it. And I think there's just too much going on with Colorado. Some of it out of their control with the whole Dion thing, obviously. But, no Travis Hunter either.
Warren Sapp, D-line coach. Or is he the DC, actually? He might be the DC.
That doesn't factor into my equation very much at all.
Nah, me neither. Fun fact.
Appreciate that. Yeah, I think Georgia Tech minus 4.5 is what I'm going to go with.
All right. It's a rambling wreck. All right, moving into Saturday's games. So the big noon kickoff game, Texas traveling to Ohio State at the Horseshoe. Ohio State. So this line's been moving a little bit too. Been seeing Ohio State 2.5 now. It's back down to Ohio State 1.5. Over under 47.5. This was a tough one for me reviewing both teams just because they do lose a lot, but these teams do recruit well and their backups
They reload.
are good. Yeah, exactly. They're like Georgia. They lose a bunch, but they bring just a brand new set of guys in who are good. You know, these teams are very similar, bringing in brand new quarterbacks, really. I mean, Arch Manning, a lot of hype around him, obviously. I'm sure he's great talent, but we haven't seen much of him. I don't really know how he's going to react going into Ohio State with, 90,000 fans, and how you haven't faced that yet. So it's a lot to come in, and even for Julian Sang, who's slated to be the quarterback, this is pretty much his first year starting, and then you're going to go into this environment. You're going against the number 1 team in the country or the number 3 team in the country. There's just a lot of pressure on these guys. Like, shit, dude, I used to get nervous pitching when I was a sophomore in college, Division 3. So, like, I can't imagine, like, playing on this type of level, it's a lot. So, but some big names. Obviously, on Ohio State, they lose Howard and Ibuka, but they do have Jeremiah Smith at wide receiver, probably arguably the best wide receiver. So they definitely do have weapons. They have guys that filter in and out. But at the end of the day, I really, I don't know. I just feel like Texas does have the better squad here. I think they will win this one, but I'm actually probably going to stay away just because I really want to watch these two teams play and actually see both these quarterbacks play. Obviously, Arch Manning. But I think Arch Manning definitely does have the upper hand in this one, and I think he'll be able to lead the team to get the victory here. But it's really a lot of question marks on both teams, and it's just something I want to stay away from as the first game.
Yeah, so I feel similar to you in the fact that it's such a monster blockbuster game, but like the value to me is just not really there. Like I can't seem to pick a side at this point. I'm going to end up betting it. I don't know which way I'm going to go right now.
Yeah, me too.
I just want to have some type of like skin in the game for it. Yeah, I mean it'll be a pleasure to watch no matter what, but still I want to take a side one way or the other. It's this, like, of the 4 units, so those being Ohio State offense, Ohio State defense, Texas offense, Texas defense, what do you think is the best unit of the 4? The one that you can trust the most?
I mean, both defenses last year were probably in the top 5. So Ohio State probably arguably the best defense last year. So, but they also lose a lot. Yeah, that's the thing. And so did Texas. But it's hard to say, man.
So I think I'm leaning towards Texas's defense as being the best overall unit. And I think I mentioned this last week when we were just kicking around or 2 weeks ago when we were kicking around some like conference talk. Texas has like a potential All-American at all 3 levels of their defense. They've got Colin Simmons as an edge rusher on the defensive line. They got Anthony Hill, All-American linebacker, kind of can do it all. And then I think his name is Malik Muhammad at cornerback, who, I mean, he's going to have his hands full with Jeremiah Smith because that dude is incredible. He's like one of the best prospects coming out of college, like ever. He's like Julio Jones, but better. But I don't really know much about Julian Sain. I know he was a 5-star recruit, but
5-star recruit.
I mean, so was that guy that went to USC and then moved over to Boise State and now is like won the job at like not Sam Houston. I forget exactly who, but it's high school recruiting doesn't always mean you're going to be a stud. So who knows? But it's something that I'll like I said, bet it'll be posted on the card, but I just can't make up my mind yet.
So with saying that, maybe even, I know the under is kind of low, but with both these teams, they're probably strong. Their strong point here is both their defenses. And you have 2 new quarterbacks, a lot of new faces on offense. Like Ohio State or Texas lost 4 out of 5 of their starting offensive linemen. So, they got a brand new offensive line. So I think the under could be in play here, but it's 47.5. That's pretty low for a college football game, so it's just something to take a peek at. But I wouldn't take that.
It's very low, and like I could see quarterbacks in this type of environment making a mistake, and then you give it up to a short field. So like bad quarterback play doesn't automatically equal an under, So it's really hard to judge this type of huge, massive game when you haven't seen them and you're just relying on camp reports. I don't know which way to turn. I'm probably going to be rooting for Texas because if Texas wins, it's better for the SEC and Oklahoma down the road.
Damn, Big Ten guy.
Yeah, you're a Big Ten guy. But I don't know.
All right, moving on to LSU at Clemson. Clemson coming in as 3.5-point favorites, so this line's moving too. But I mean, it was up to 4. But latest line I had was 3.5. Over under 57.5. 7:30 p.m. start. So with this one, obviously you probably have the 2 top quarterbacks in the league going head to head, and then Brian Kelly going head to head with Dabo Sweeney. So pretty much the battle for the rightful owner of Death Valley. I mean, I don't know how 2 stadiums can have the same nickname. Don't know how we settled that, but don't know why they're both named that. I don't even think there's valleys in down in Baton Rouge, but it should be a good environment. LSU's O-line. I mean, the problem here is I'm actually high on Clemson this year. They have a great defensive line. They have 2 guys on the D-line that are projected to be first-rounders. And LSU's O-line losing 4 out of their 5 stars from last year, bringing a couple transfers, but 3 out of 5 of their linemen are sophomores or below. I think there's 2 freshmen there. So it's just a lot of inexperience at their line. They're going into Clemson and going against one of arguably the best defenses coming into this year, defensive lines. So it's tough to see how they're going to react to that. And Nussmeier is a pocket quarterback. I mean, he could scramble a little bit, but that's not really his forte. On the defensive end, they lose 8 of their 11 starters from last year. And, surprisingly, their defense was an improvement from the 2023 season, but definitely going to see a lot of new faces on their defensive side. On Clemson's side, one of the best returning rate of productions, return 8 starters on both offense and defense. And Dabo doesn't like transfers. You see that. So I just think Clemson here, they're just in a better spot. They have more experience going into this game. I think they have a better defense that will be able to handle Nussmeier. And I know you mentioned that Nussmeier, I mentioned that Nussmeier has a troubling knee injury or whatever, but you're saying it's not too big of a deal. I guess he always had that. But it's still just at the back of my mind. It's something that it puts me off with LSU. I'm not a big Brian Kelly fan anyway, so I'm going to go with Clemson on this one.
Yeah, that last thing you said there is kind of what I'm hanging on, and it's Brian Kelly in these big games. LSU has opened the season with a pretty big game. The last 5 years, they've lost all of them. So I'm on Clemson, minus 3.5. Clemson is... Them and Penn State really are the 2 teams that you have the least questions about, I think, to open the season. And Penn State, you actually still wonder, can they win the big game? Dabo Sweeney's a multiple-time national champion. As much as people kind of hate on him, he seems like he's a pretty good coach. And Clemson's going to be up for this game. I think that LSU's going to have a really tough time blocking that defensive front of Clemson. I also think Clemson's offense is going to be able to ball for sure. They got some good, powerful weapons. Bryant Wesco comes to mind. A really strong sophomore wide receiver for them. Klubnik, I haven't been like a huge Klubnik fan, but I don't know. I don't think the drop off between him and Nussmeier is all that significant, and he's just got more talent, I think, to play with. So I like them.
I do think Nussmeier would be the better NFL quarterback, if we were to say.
Yeah, he's definitely a higher NFL prospect, but like, I don't know, for this game and college football in general, that doesn't necessarily mean wins.
Yeah, very true.
So yeah, Peter Woods in the defensive line for Clemson, minus 3.5. That's what I'm going with.
All right. Jeez, are we on the square place? We're agreeing a lot here. All right. Moving into Sunday, we've got Sunday football, college football, taking the spot of NFL until the week after. Notre Dame at Miami. Notre Dame coming in as 2.5-point favorites, over under 49.5, 8 p.m. start. So Irish coming in as runners-up to national champs last year. You know, they got a tough opener coming in, but also had a tough opener last year against A&M. You know, I think we both took A&M in that game last year, and Notre Dame went in and beat them. Returned 5 stars on offense, lose Riley Leonard, but returned the running back combo, Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, both almost rushed for over 2,000 combined last year. So the person to take Riley's spot going to be, they announced freshman quarterback C.J. Carr, C-A-R-R. But, you know, freshman coming into this, again, I heard things that hasn't been looking too good in camp either, so that scares me. But, defensively, probably one of the best defenses. They lose Xavier Watson, Jack Kaiser in the NFL, but still return a lot. And I do trust Marcus Freeman, great coach, knows what he's doing, has balls, goes with his gut. He knows what he's doing. And then with Miami, they have Mario Cristobal, who I hate. I mean, the guy just loses games for his team. He's just not a good coach, I think. Bringing transfer Carson Beck, rumored to not be a locker room guy, doesn't even keep track of his cars apparently, has no idea where they are. So it just seems like the guy is just not there. He's got other things going on. But they do, defensively, they're actually not that bad. Brand new secondary with transfers coming in, but their front seven actually aren't bad. They were pretty good last year. I'll give them that. It's just their defense or their secondary that hurt them a lot. And the question really, I think, will be how Carr comes into this game, freshman quarterback going into there. I honestly really like the under in this one. I don't think I'd pick a side just because I don't know what Carr is. And then you're going against Beck, who has a lot of experience, a lot of big games. But there's like a brand new offense over there at Miami. So it'll be interesting to see how he meshes with this. A lot of new faces out there. So I think the under is actually going to be a play here. It's kind of low at 49.5, but I really don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this one.
Yeah, this is crazy. We're lockstep so far and continue to be in this game. I really don't know what to make of this game either because mostly CJ Carr and how he's going to perform. Carson Beck, I know people don't like him, and Georgia was kind of happy to get rid of him, but he still seemed like a fine quarterback. Like he can throw the ball for sure.
They probably would have made the national championship last year if he didn't get hurt.
All right, so like I don't really have any questions. Like they're not going to be a pitiful Miami offense, and the defense is solid. I think Notre Dame like lucked into the finals last year. I know they beat Georgia, but that was like a down Georgia team, and
Without Beck,
right? And then their other teams that they played were kind of like.
Well, they beat Penn State, and like Penn State, big game Franklin, man.
Yeah,
just
Franklin
can't
get it done. And then they smoked whoever in the first round.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me I haven't really studied up these teams much either. So I'm going to stay away for now. I might end up betting it after I have a couple more days to look into it, but not enough information to make a call right now.
Yeah, right.
One quick thing. Notre Dame's schedule, by the way. So they start off with at Miami, then they're home versus Texas A&M. So two like pretty tough games. They play no one the rest of the year. Their toughest game
all ACC shit.
Dude, it's Purdue, trash. Arkansas, trash. Boise State at home, okay, decent. NC State at home. USC at home. At Boston College. Navy, Pitt, Syracuse, Stanford. That's fucking easiest schedule I've ever seen.
Knowing them, though, they'll probably
up.
blow one of those games.
Yeah, but they're still going to make the playoff. It's just, Notre Dame is they're like prima donnas.
Oh, yeah, always. They're going to join. I mean, a lot of hype has been out there about them joining a conference soon, so we'll see. I mean, if they join ACC, I really don't even think it makes much of a difference, to be honest, just because obviously ACC is not really the biggest football conference, but that might even get broken up. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Big Ten and SEC power conferences on both sides, to be honest with you.
I mean, there's been rumors, I think, that like Clemson, Florida State could go to the SEC.
It would not surprise me. I mean, Florida State's buns, but yeah. All right, moving into Monday night, TCU at UNC. TCU coming in as 3-point favorites, over under 56.5. 8 p.m. start, some Monday night football for good old Belichick Hudson. Yes, you heard that right. Bill Belichick will be taking Jordan Hudson's last name once they get married. Calling it now. What do you think?
I think that's a good call, the way things have been going. The thing is, like, he's not even going to know it, though. It's going to be like his Instagram handle is going to be like Bill Hudson, and he's going to have like no idea that happened.
I mean, love's in the air, man. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift getting engaged. Jordan might be putting the pressure on.
Less of a fuck about that. That was like huge news. I was just like mentioned it once, and I was like, okay, I don't really, whatever.
The best is you get an ESPN update about that. Like, why is this an ESPN update?
Who cares? Good for them. I'm happy for them, but like, I don't give a shit.
It's the worst on Sundays when every time he catches the ball, it has to be a screenshot on her reaction.
Oh my God. Yeah. I
don't
like,
need to see this.
In my apartment, when they show her, I literally like stand up, throw my arms up in there, and like, they're ruining football. They ruin it. They got to show her all the time. I'm sick of it. I don't want to see her all the time. It's annoying at this point. And I like her.
Honestly, it's probably just because the Swifties watching. They're like, we need to play into this crowd, so they keep watching.
Yeah. that is what it is.
But honestly, talking about transfers with North Carolina projecting 10 of their 11 starters on defense will be transfers.
I have no idea. Like, I'm not taking
Yeah.
anything. I have no idea what I'm even looking at here.
God, I mean, it's just a lot to dissect. And bringing in quarterback Gio Lopez, starter at South Alabama the last couple seasons. He has good stats, but again, you're playing Group of 5 schools going up against Power 4 teams now. Lose their top running back, Marion Hampton, and even bring in a ton of transfers on their offensive line. I mean, there's just a lot on their end. But TCU come in, returning Josh Hoover, great quarterback, threw for almost 4,000 yards last year. And Sonny Dykes, their head coach, loves to throw the ball, big passing guy. Lose their top wide receiver, but return their second leader and return 3 of their 5 offensive line. I mean, I am going to roll with TCU here just because it's a small line. It's new for Belichick in this environment with college. He's going to be dealing with a lot of spread here. I mean, maybe he can make some adjustments here, but you're also dealing with a brand new team who's playing with each other for the first time in their first game together and going against a TCU team who's actually pretty good with a good quarterback. I don't know. I don't see it. I have to take TCU here.
Yeah, I mentioned that I thought TCU was going to have a little bit of a rebound this year. I think they will be good. I have no idea what to expect with UNC, so
it'll be a good watch.
I may end up joining you, and it's a standalone game, so I'll probably put something on it, but as of now, I got no information.
All right. So I'll do it with our premier matchups. We'll throw in a few other games to touch on real quick. So another game I'm going to bet on, I'm definitely taking Bama minus 13.5. I just think their defense is too good for Florida State.
Yeah, so the only thing that gives me pause is this is a game where like Nick Saban dominates, obviously, and they cover easy. You've seen in this new era with Bama now, they don't always just like blow teams out of the water that they're supposed to. And I don't know, it's a little unnerving, but I'm with you. The talent gap is just significant. Gonna go Bama minus 13.5.
Hey, a lot of pressure on DeBoer. He needs to get the alumni and the fandom up there for that. Another one I'm probably gonna play is, I'm sure you're gonna play this too, is Utah minus 5.5.
Minus 5.5.
I'm afraid everybody's gonna be on this though.
Dude, I've got another one after that you don't even have listed that I'm really scared because I think everyone's gonna be on, but Utah minus 5.5 is the hammer play, I think.
God, this scares me now. I mean, honestly, UCLA loses their whole defense. Their defense was very good last year. Yeah. What do you say?
Well, he had the thing at the Big Ten Media Days last year where he was just like, yep, we're in LA and excited to be here. Any questions? That was his opening press conference.
They had nothing prepared.
And they haven't gotten much better than that. And I don't know. Yeah, it just sounds really bad. So, and I'm also high on Utah, so I'm all over them minus 5.5.
All right, I'm still gonna stick with it, but it scares me kind of. I don't know why, but
yeah.
All right, what's the other one you got?
So last year, if you remember in the beginning of the season, there was one team that was getting significant hype in the early 20s of the AP poll, and that was Virginia Tech. So okay. I like Virginia Tech plus 7.5 against South Carolina. I think they could be live in the game. I'm worried though because it seems to have become a very sexy pick, and people are all over it.
Line did go down a half point from 8 to 7.5.
Yeah,
it's at South Carolina though, right? Pretty sure. Oh, it is. Okay, Charlotte maybe.
Where is it actually?
It's not the Duke's Mayo Classic.
No, where is it? I think it's Mercedes-Benz or something.
Yeah, it's Mercedes-Benz. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's neutral field. Yeah. No. I think Virginia Tech returned a lot of people. They had that couple early losses last year. They weren't that good, but I think South Carolina's going to take a real big step back. Lenore Sellers is good, but they lost a ton on defense. Give me 7.5 all day. And then one more here for you. Syracuse versus Tennessee. Tennessee and Syracuse. Syracuse plus 14. Joey Aguilar. Obviously, no more Nico. A lot of questions around Tennessee. I think they're not going to be all that special this year. I'll take 2 touchdowns with Syracuse any day.
I was looking at this because I'm not a fan of Syracuse this year, but Tennessee does lose a lot, and it's going to be hard to judge them. I know, yeah.
I like it.
Oh wait, that's at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium too.
Is it really? Oh shit!
Yeah,
I just saw the line and thought they were. Oh,
yeah.
fuck. Whatever. I still like it less, but still like it.
The only other one I had my eye on Oregon State and Cal, but like this line just kind of scares me, so I might actually stay away. It's just Oregon State brings in Murphy, transfer quarterback from Duke, who had pretty good stats last year. And playing in Corvallis is not the easiest of places to play. I mean, you're in the Mountain West or the Pacific Northwest, and Cal going into there, they lose everybody pretty much, and they sucked last year. And this is only 1.5 point favorite for Oregon State. I'm gonna try to look into a little bit more, just to keep an eye on, but it's a little fishy.
Yeah, I don't know much about that. It's weird, but
Yeah, not many people probably would.
stay away from me. Anything else? I'm scanning the board here.
Not for this week. I already
One
moved
out.
on to next week.
All right, moves on to next week then.
Iowa State.
So it was a good game.
Other than that,
I'll be locked into Michigan, Oklahoma.
yeah, I mean that's like the only really good one, to be honest. The top 25.
Game day's going there. It should be good.
All right. Anything else?
And I'm looking at this Toledo, Kentucky, -9.5. I don't know. Kentucky's pretty damn bad, but Toledo?
So I'd probably stay away from that one just because, I mean, Toledo does have the returning quarterback coming back. He's actually not bad. And then Kentucky brings in an FCS quarterback from Incarnate Word, and he's actually pretty good. Obviously, you're coming in from FCS into the SEC, but you're also going against a MAC team to start out. So and Toledo opened the season last year beating Mississippi State at Mississippi State. Mississippi State was hot garbage last year, but
Yeah.
still, it's just something to keep an eye on. I don't know. It's a little. I think it could go either way with this line.
Speaking of them, Southern Miss -13.5. Or I'm sorry, +13.5 against Mississippi State.
Not a bad play.
Might have to add it, but TBD.
Well, Tucker Gleason, that's the quarterback's name from Toledo. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Noted. Anything else?
I'm good on my end, brother.
Cool. All right. Well, hope everybody enjoys their first full slate of college football. I know I will.
Week 1 in the books. Subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe again. That's all very much appreciated. Leave a comment. We'll read it aloud, and then we'll comment on it. But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
See ya.